obviously weed. It's my favorite way to either, if I'm in a rut and I'm having to like do some writing, it's nice to get that kind of like creative boost and get that dopamine release from smoking weed. Or I always smoke before a workout, so I really enjoy Pilates and spin class. So I'll either smoke before, like have a beverage or an edible. It really just helps me enter my flow state. And I'm trying to, carry that flow state into all areas of my life, not just when I'm dedicating an hour to exercise. And then at night, it's just like a really great way to either be communal with friends and kind of like take the ease and the edge off. I think a lot of that comes down to education, and also just, I acknowledge that it's a privilege to be in a place like California, especially coming from Texas, where you kind of go to your dealer, you get what you get, and they tell you what it is, but do you really know? And so I really try to even like educate my friends there and hear just all the things that I've learned about different terpenes and how they affect your mood. So when we think about essential oils, for example, like lavender is linalool. So like lavender is really relaxing and calming. So if that's what you're looking for, you probably want like an indica strain that has some like linalool and mycerne in it. And then if you want something uplifting, so when I want to like go work out or I still have like a work day ahead of me, I try to go for something that is coined a sativa, because then I may have like some more like citrusy notes that have like that uplifting, kind of effect on your body and on your mind. And also just searching for things that are less of like a body high, so you're not like slumped and like in the couch. Just looking for something that's uplifting. I also like anything that allows me to microdose. That way I can like start small, build if I need to, but also not get like super stoned and then I'm kind of, just watching Netflix for the rest of the day. So I no longer have a prescription. I try not to take Adderall anymore. I just noticed how irritable it made me. Like my mom would ask me like, how was your day? And I'd snap at her, and it's because already like, a lot of people don't realize that having ADHD does not mean you can't focus. It means that you can like hyper focus on things that interest you, and the things that don't, then you struggle with motivation and getting started. I work with, I'm a private tutor as well, so I work with a lot of students that have ADHD or other learning differences. And I always am very transparent with them about my journey too, because they will share like, like my medication makes me feel like even more anxious, or my doctor keeps upping my dose and now I'm feeling like jittery. And so for me, I really, when I left law school, after my 1L year, I was 21 years old. I had no idea what I was doing. It was kind of like my first time to fail as well. And I just knew I had to make some like serious lifestyle changes. So I think that's when I started to use cannabis mindfully for the first time. I essentially just had to do a lot of apologizing, a lot of self-reflection and introspection. And then that's when I kind of started like my spiritual journey as well. And so, getting really into like Carolyn Myss and Deepak Chopra and just like, and, Eckhart Tolle. And so really just taking the time to study and to learn how to be at peace like within myself so that I could be better for the people around me was really important. I would say definitely in college. So to balance out taking like, an upper throughout the day, taking a stimulant and then to like be able to go to sleep at night, I was smoking weed, and that was definitely highly stigmatized, like where I was living, which was Oklahoma, with a lot of like Texas people as well. And that's the irony, right? It's like, oh, it's perfectly fine to take literally an amphetamine, but it's not okay to smoke weed that's like just a plant that grows in the ground and is not addictive. And so I definitely felt like shame around that. I mostly just did it in the privacy of my own home. And also it kind of like isolated me a little bit from some people because they saw me a certain way because I was smoking weed. Like they assume things about you because you smoke weed. But I'm really thankful now to be like in a community where it's something I can talk freely about, and like have been exploring like other types of plant medicine as well. Saucy is like the legacy of my grandfather, first and foremost. We lost him a few years ago. He was the coolest dude, just like always had the best demeanor. Like he was just always calm, cool, collected, great person to go to for advice and just to get to spend time with, and also showed me the importance of like slowing down. Like he loved to garden and cook and kind of these things that we get away from in like modern times. And cannabis has been so healing for my parents and for honestly my entire family, because we have everything. We have multiple military veterans. Both my parents are military vets. We have 3 D1 athletes in our family. So a lot of them experience like aches and pains from like past injuries. So I had always smoked weed, but when Colorado went legal, I was able to bring tested and licensed and legally purchased products to my family. And my dad, who was prescribed opium daily when we were in Germany, when I was in high school in Germany, when I was in college, then morphine when he came back to the States in like 2013. Again, like pharmaceuticals, like messing with your interpersonal relationships, your brain chemistry. And he couldn't believe, and he was also being really passive in his healthcare. Like he wasn't, watching his diet. He wasn't working out, doing his PT. And he finally was willing to try a topical. I was like, it's not transdermal. That's the great thing too, is like you can get a THC infused balm. THC is going to be stronger and better for pain management if you can get it in the state that you're in. But he couldn't believe that it worked almost as well as these painkillers that he was being prescribed. So then pairing that with edibles then allowed him to get off of, so he's now down to 4 pharmaceutical meds when before it was like over 10. And my parents still don't smoke. So I wanted to produce an edible product that was not a gummy or candy, because so many are sweets. And I wanted something that you could just add to any meal and something that would be easy to have a conversation around. So like having a single use pouch that's 5 milligrams, which is about half a gummy, allows you to be like, hey grandma, like, just try this salad dressing and like see how you feel. And it's probably just gonna be like a little pick me up. She's not gonna get super stoned, and it's a good place to start. And then you can have a conversation with her about cannabis and like look at this, like it's completely normal. This is discreet. You don't even have to, you don't have to ingest any smokables. So for me, I just wanted a product. I also like finding products that are at the intersection of different industries. So with cannabis and food, like it's really easy to have a conversation about food and bring people around a table around food. And so for me, I wanted my product to be that conversation starter. I do think that like self-pleasure and intimacy is very important, and like getting intimate with yourself, like even without a partner. I think that for me, it's a great stress reliever. It is also a great way to like feel empowered again and like get that glow back and get that energy up. So like at any point in the day, like that's also why it's nice to work from home. So at any point in the day, like you can do that for yourself. And I think talking about these things, remove some of the shame. Like there are so many things that we feel shame about that could really positively impact our lives, especially if we could talk about it with one another. In bed. I feel my body tense up the most when I am having to problem solve and don't know the solution yet. Incense and watering my plants and calming music. My body language likely gives off that I'm a little closed off and like protective of myself and energy a lot. I think that comes with like the trauma too. Even though I'm like a really open person verbally, like I think my body language speaks to more like what's going on inside my head. I'm working on that and getting better at that. I'm such a people pleaser, so I'm working on being more direct and not being afraid of confrontation. But I speak my mind the most when I am helping people achieve their dreams.